So we're continuing our Spawn run with Spawn Issue 2. Let's begin, you fuzzy tentacles. So we start off with our introduction of the Violator, and he's a interesting specimen, alright. Now the Violator is essentially joking and talking about how he thinks he's gonna destroy Spawn when they fight each other. And he's talking about his plans as to what he has to do with him. Spawny Boy here is still confused about his identity and about what his wife's name is and what his past is, who he is, stuff like that. He's got amnesia, alright? He's also realizing how it wasn't really worth the deal because now he looks like a hamburger and his wife probably won't want to date a hamburger. Spawn is realizing that he's been drawn to the church, and the Violator is down next to him, waving like a little chicken wing. We then are transferred to the Dawn Court building. Now, the Dawn Court building was a building that was built in record-breaking time, and it was actually kind of under budget. Not so safe. But it does have top-notch security, and it's said to pretty much be impenetrable. But as we see here, the Violator in his true form shows up and makes quick work of these mafia schmoes. After ripping out hearts and tearing them apart, he just says, "Night night, boys," and just vanishes. So we pick up with the three newscasters, and the fat bastard starts off with how he thinks the mafia people, the mafia members, deserve to be murdered. Those are the ones the Violators just killed. He thinks they deserve to be murdered, and he doesn't know why the cops are going after them. The female newscaster, however, talks about Wanda Blake and how she opened up a clinical facility for disabled children. Now, Wanda Blake is Spawn's wife, in case you guys don't know, but she got the funds from her husband's death, and that's how she was able to open this thing up. So, after a while of sitting down and hating on himself, pretty much, and damning the powers he has, he says, well, why don't I put use to them? And one of Spawn's powers is shapeshifting. So he does that, and let's just say it doesn't turn out how he expects, because he's a black guy, and he turns himself white, so yeah. Alright, so we then pick up with Sam and Twitch. Now, Sam is pretty much complaining about how he's been put on too many cases and how they expect him to solve all of them at once. And he doesn't think that shit's gonna happen. So he's then reading the newspaper and he's complaining about how they always put the violent stuff first. And why don't they put, the peaceful stuff first? Like they used to in the good old days. And they're just making jokes here and there. It's pretty funny. We then pick up with the Violator. The Violator, not the Vibrator, not the Vindicator, not the... Okay, alright, I'm done. We pick up with the Violator, and he's pretty much taking out all these mob bosses so he can use them as part of the army in hell. Because he gets to take their souls, and then they'll fight for them. On the other end, we have Spawn freaking out because he can't get his powers to work correctly. Within this freak out, we get to another flashback and another missing clue that he's putting back together. So this is where we get into Jason Wynn, his boss. And it describes how Jason Wynn taught Spawn how to kill, how to do all these things, and how they were pretty much like brothers. And this is where it gets cool. Because Spawn started butting heads with Jason Wynn because Jason Wynn has been breaking the rules, has been making Spawn do too many cover-ups, and they've been doing things against the books. And Spawn obviously was against that, because while he is a killer, he still has a heart. Within the flashback, he realized, I know, weird wording there, but he noticed back then that Jason Wynn had become truly evil. He just enjoyed inflicting pain on others, and he was sadistic. Then Spawn passes out because of this flashback and fucking takes a dive. So while Spawn is passed out, the Violator comes up to him. Spawn wakes up, and the Violator kind of makes fun of him the whole time and be's his naturally annoying self. And Spawn's kind of wondering who this tiny fat bastard is, and he is joking around. Well, not really. He's kind of dead serious, but joking at the same time. That doesn't make sense. But anyway, you get my point. He's kind of just going on a huge rant of all these different ways he could kill Spawn, and Spawn just isn't impressed at all. And while he's in the middle of this rant, he either realizes his fly's down or it just bursts open because he's so fat. And he zips it up and he laughs, and then he threatens Spawn again. And Spawn just says, "Man, I don't have time for this." And then the Violator's like, "Come on." And then we end off on the Violator turning into his true form. And in the next issue, we'll see Spawn versus the Violator. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this second issue of Spawn video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bam!